Hello and welcome to our latest Gemini Rogues video. This is the T95. It was chosen in a poll we did on Twitter to show the armor profile, how to kill it, how to defend it, how to use it. It's quite good actually. It's got some big fat armor on it, and it Killers 05.
Yeah, the T95 is known for it, the behemoth of armour. It's probably one of the most armoured tanks on the game, right there with T110E3, the tier 10, especially at tier 9. There's not much more armour than this.
Oh, okay.
Way above the tortoise and tanks like that, but suffers from similar weak spot problems that we're going to look at. We're going to try and exploit, and we're going to show when and shoot something, where to shoot something, and when just to get out of the way.
To try and shoot something on it.
And just show where not to shoot, because you're
just wasting your time.
Yeah, pretty much. Spamming gold, and even that's not going to do you much good against this thing.
But I think even when you try and shoot it in the right place, it doesn't always work for you, does it?
No, it's not a guaranteed pen every time. Even using, like we just said, your APCR or heat rounds, whatever you've got as your premium ammunition, it's not a guaranteed pen. Basically, get out of the way from we'll look straight at its arm. You can see straight away that the actual fighting compartment face on is just a no-go. Absolute no-go. You've also got that spaced armour above your track, so you're not going through there and doing any damage. That's not doing anything. You can see the slightly lower armoured lower plate, but look how small it is. Absolutely tiny. So
look at the angle on it as well.
Angled as well, yeah. So you can say, I mean, the shoulders, they look like the weak. Oh, look at them weak shoulders there. They're like cheeks, if you want to call them, on the fighting compartment.
Yeah, you would have thought.
We're going to show that they're not very weak even. It's not very regular you can get a shot into them. But the biggest, obvious, most weak spot you can see is the cupola on the top. Preferably the right one, because normally that's the most visible one you can see.
Yeah, but on there it says both of them are the same thickness.
It doesn't tend to pen the rear, well, the left-hand side ones where looking at it, the rear at the back. It kind of damaged the module, but wouldn't really do any HP damage to the tank, whereas the front one does. So basically shoot the right one if you can, but we're going to show you in this video we've got coming up how you can hide it. Try and hide it, so you minimise even less chance you've got a pen. I mean, you're not indestructible in a T95 because obviously they get quick.
Actual size.
Yeah, so looking at the side, you can see the side is incredibly weak. It's angled though. It's brilliantly angled, so it's not. I don't think you can just. Oh, I've got the side is dead. Especially the thickness of the tracks on the side. It's not an easy penning tank at all. But just a little bit of a side note for the T95. We're going to show it in this video as well. The weak spot at the top there, you can see on the top of the compartment, is also where the ammo rack is. So if you can get to the side of a T95, shoot it in that upper bit, not the flat side. You see, I know it's a bit of a chance that you're going to skid off that top if you've not got that high penetration going, but that's where the ammo rack is. We're going to show that in this video. I mean, the rear is just weak as hell. You can go straight for the rear.
That's a typical place to hit it, though, isn't it?
I mean, you could say that about any tank. I don't know any tank that you can get around back of and can't pen. It's the general weak spot. It's a normal weak spot.
It's getting around back of it, man.
I mean, the T95 is not blessed with mobility.
No.
And it's also easily tracked. Because it's not hard to miss a double thickness tracks. So, and that's what you'll find people doing to you a lot. They're just going to try and track you, pin you there. You've also got an incredibly weak roof that it can be penned quite easily by high tanks, because it's quite a small low tank as such. I know it's quite wide, but it's not very high. So the Mouses of this world, the really high up turrets, can get shots down onto the top of the roof. So at close quarters, it's not, it negates its armour completely. So you want to try and keep at range as well. I mean, the further you are, you've got a pretty good gun on your T95 as well, so...
Is it accurate?
Yeah, it's pretty accurate. It's the same gun as you get on the T30, the tier 9 American tankster on the other line, but it's slightly quicker at reloading and slightly more accurate. So it's the exact same on the under 55mm. Does the same damage, same pen.
Well, there's 750, is it?
Yeah, it puts holes in things and it does it quite quick.
Well, it's slightly faster reloading, you say?
Yeah, and it's more accurate as well. So it's not to be dismissed as just an armoured, you know, like your duck tank at tier 4. You see duck tank and you think, oh, he's not really going to cause me any trouble. He's going to look if he pens me, but I'm going to struggle to pen him. T95 doesn't suffer from that problem. He's going to rip big holes through you. So basically, look at that from front. You don't want to be looking at it. If that thing's down a street, pick another street, because you ain't getting down it without taking a few whacks off him before you get there. And even then, he's got mobility just about enough, and we're going to lolook at that, how easy it is to manoeuvre, but it's a very heavy tank, so it can do a lot of damage just by nudging into things.
How fast is it? Can you remember how fast it is?
It's had a speed buff recently. I think it's up to 20 kilometres an hour now, so it's slightly quicker than what it used to be. It used to be just ridiculous. Like that and the T28, the one before it, the tier 8 tank, used to be ridiculously slow, but they've had this speed buff now, and it has helped. It makes it a more playable tank, because it was just so boring.
Yeah, trying to get somewhere.
Yeah, it was just so boring, trudging for minutes and minutes. And then by the time you got the team with it and you were surrounded by 8 tanks, it weren't much fun. But these things, like we just said, if you can get them on the end of the street, they can just pretty much block a path for your whole team. They can hold an whole flank on their own sort of like thing.
Saying this will play in a team, I mean, this will play in a town map and an open map. That's what we're saying. Yeah,
well, the open map, you want to keep as much distance as you can, because, like you say, things can get round you. You're not spinning on the top. It's not Russian SU like thingy. Talking spin axis, but we're going to look. I mean, look at it straight away. It's a mammoth tank, absolutely mammoth. And looking at that, I mean, the cupolas look quite big there, but if you're going to wiggle on the Wiggler keep wiggling that tank about, the cupola can be a bit tricky.
Look how close we are, man.
I mean, this is quite close. So we can see how big them tracks are, easy they are to track you, to keep you in position. I mean, that's the worst nightmare you've got. You're looking at it
face
like that, and it turns its gun to point at you, like, oh no.
Like looking at you.
And you can just have a look at those general points we mentioned before. Anywhere where we're aiming now, that mantlet is absolutely. It's just, you're not penny.
I mean,
we're talking gold rounds aren't going through that.
Just don't aim for it.
Some tier 10 tanks with premium rounds aren't going through that. Forget about it. It's a no-go area altogether. It's just mammothly thick.
It's just a beast,
and you can see just how small that lower plate is. And even when it's straight on like this, the angle makes it quite tricky to pen. I mean, we're in the Defender here. I mean, Defender's not blessed with penetration, about 226, 24 off the top of my head. I can't remember. The standard rounds that we're going to be firing here. And you see the cupolas. The back one you can see.
Yeah.
A little bit trickier to see. And imagine what that looks like when you're fighting over something like 300, 400 metres. It's not going to be that easy to shoot.
Yeah.
And the right one's more clear, and again, still the same size, so it's not going to be any easy to hit. But they're your easiest points of entry, should I say, to get some hit points off this thing. And it's blessed with a fair few hit points as well, but not as many as like the Tortoise, but it's got a fair few. You can see that turns red, but all you're going to do there is just damage tracks. You're not going to actually take any damage off.
I think you'd damage it, wouldn't you?
And you can see there, it turns that horrible colour from red to the orange.
Yeah.
And even though that is like less armoured than the fighting compartment in the middle, you're going to struggle to get one in it, because it's also angled sloped up and away from you, so it's skidding both directions. It's not an easy tank to pen.
It's just an animal, isn't it?
Pretty much,
size of it.
And it's no different side to side.
No, you can see different colours on the recital, which kind of tell you like you're wasting ammo.
And we're talking premium rounds as well. I'm going to struggle to go through these areas. I mean, that is a weak spot there we were just aiming at then, that like triangle, I want to call it, above the tracks. But it's very hard to get a penetrating shot into it, because it's just thick enough in its angle. I mean, there's that weak spot, that lower plate. We're smacked straight on it, and we've still bounced off and glided on underneath. It's a formidable
It's got a nice
tank.
angle on it, though, isn't it?
Well, this is no-go. This is just no-go. Absolute no-go. But this is the spot. This is the one, the best chance you've got to pen in this tank.
Beautiful.
Bomb straight in. You see, we've got that shot straight in. We've penned instantly.
If you look at it, it's a nice angled as well, that cupola. It's not like square.
I'm just going to prove that point with a real one. You'd think it's got the same armour on it, same thickness, same shape. Let's see if we could pen it.
Nothing. Slightly further back.
And we've hit it, same kind of, slightly high if you want to be nitpicky, but it didn't go in. It's such a fine line. You're going to see this all through this video. We shoot both cupolas. It goes in on the right one. It doesn't go in on the left. And we're going to show it, even though it's red, it's not a weak spot.
No,
it's spaced armour. It's just tracks. All you're going to do is damage them tracks. I mean, this is probably the best thing you can do if you end up in this position where we're looking at it. Blow them tracks off and get out. I won't hang about trying to aim in and try and find that shot, because we're going to see the formidability of that gun in a minute. There's that weak spot we mentioned. You can see the angle the shells actually penetrate the tank. It's kind of facing away from us already, so that is a weak spot, but it's not easily penned at all. I mean, the gun is just a no-go.
There's no point firing at it.
I mean, it's not happening.
It's
just not happening.
Why did I waste that shell, man? It's just proves that
you're switching now. We're switching to the premium ammunition now. We're going to see what that does.
What changes?
If that can lead to any more success. And we'll go straight to that lower plate again. We said it's a weak spot. It's still nicely angled though. It's very thin, it's very small. Still, it doesn't go in.
The thing is, you would always switch to premium rounds, wouldn't you? Don't go in, premium round it.
But you can show that you can pen the cupola with a standard shell, so you don't always have to go
I know, but there's a premium round at the left one. That's the thing.
Well, it goes through, so it can be penned.
Yeah.
But it takes a premium shell as opposed to, I think, so it's a gamble really.
Yeah.
Whereas the right hand side one is a lot easier to pen. I mean, it's not got vast amounts of penetration with the Defender's premium shell, 265mm of penetration, so it's not.
Well, it's
not
bit,
blessed.
yeah,
it's not blessed. And you can see there again, it's still red, but it's just damaged tracks. We're not going to actually pen anywhere on it.
No, that's it.
Damaged modules. Which is a bit offsetting really when it recital turns red, because technically
that
you're going to do
quick,
damage.
man.
Yeah, there's good crew in that. But if you've got a T95, there's a little tip for your track mechanic.
Well, yeah.
Get track mechanic on and get them tracks straight back up. And
kidding,
toolbox is also good.
Less than 5
yeah,
seconds.
if you get toolbox on it as well. I don't think I've got toolbox on that, so that's just running track mechanic, which helps. That's
really good.
Yeah.
I didn't realise you could have it that fast.
You can see here. It's going amber, but we're not going through. There's no chance of that actually going through.
Yeah, it's costing me ammo, man. It cost me a fortune to make this. Yeah, so well, thing is, do you need to angle it? Do you need to angle it?
No, pretty much the straighter on you are sometimes the better. I mean, you can get just a slight little angle, but that exposes them little cheeks that we've just mentioned a little bit more. And it doesn't really hide your cupola any either, because it's the same thickness all the way around. So
yeah, it's pretty flat
your main weak spot is still there.
Parallel.
And the problem with angling yourself in the T95 is that I can't point my gun at you anymore.
Oh,
so
yeah.
basically, you want to stay face on the T95 because it gives you the optimum scope if they move, getting a shot in on them still.
I think we're just trying to get the cheeks out.
We're trying that cheek, trying a little bit closer. Still there, still red. It's just going to do track damage. There's not much point firing, basically.
Standard round anyway. So if the standard round goes in.
There's that cheek. You see, it's red. Still doesn't go in. That is a weak spot. You've seen it on the armour profiling. It is a weak spot, but it's a bloody nightmare to try and get one in. I wouldn't even bother risking it, because you can see how easy the cupola's penned above it. If you can see that cheek, you can see the cupola pretty much. There's not much point trying to waste your time hitting that. Yeah, it's easier to hit, but chance of penning. I mean, the side armour's good enough at that angle, slight angle there.
It's nice bit of angle.
Skid one off. Even the sides that aren't that thickly armoured, we mentioned how thin they are, still can't be penned when they're at this such kind of an angle. So when you're getting circled in a T95, remember that they're only really going to be able to pen you when they're pretty much flat, straight onto you, going straight onto you, square on. Like this now, it's going to go in every time. There's not much change you're going to get from that. It's going bolt straight in. And even through that armour down at the bottom there, straight through both sets of tracks, it's going in.
Yeah, straight through, man.
And this is where they kind of like.
Trying to remember where the ammo rack is.
Yeah, it's just a little bit higher. I think
you're very surprised if you can remember where it is.
Yeah, there's one shot. It's just a little bit higher on the kind of around where the American flag badges. Sorry, I mean the rear's just butter. Absolute butter.
Straight in.
Yeah, it's not even a challenge to get one in here. It's going in.
Nice
anywhere up and down there. There's no general change in thickness or armour. There's no. I mean, lower's better because it's flatter.
Yeah.
But you're not going to struggle if you do clip it a little bit higher. So go for that. I mean, here we go. This is when you really want to hide the T95. We've got that gun just around that corner. All we can see really that we can pen is the rear cupola. We can't see the right one anymore. It's hid around the corner where we can see it outlined on the building.
That did prove to be the stronger one with standard.
Yeah, as you can see there, all we've done is damage the viewing port. It's not gone in. So you can see if the T95, if you want to defend yourself in the T95 and you've got a nice bit of building, that's it. I mean, all you can really do now is shoot the lower plate and try and pen that rear cupola like we've done before. But it's tricky to get one to go into it. We've shown that already.
I mean, even
trying to shoot inside that is not an option either. That doesn't do any damage. And we're going to try and get one down a little bit closer in just to show that that's accurate. It's just happening. That's not a weak spot. It's not really. It's just spaced armour above the track. Not really damaging any.
You might think it's going to go in, but
no, not at all.
It just doesn't like us, does it? This thing.
I mean, that's where you want to be in a T95. You want to get yourself in that kind of position and just show it. Wow.
Yeah.
And that's the point where you just back up a bit more or drive forward to the right hand side and show. There you go. It's not going in that lower plate.
Yeah.
We showed that lower plate, even though it's a weak spot on the armour profiling, is not easily penned. The only problem is showing you can't really side scrape it in T95 and you've got no real benefit to it either, because all you do now is expose even more of your tank and even more of your weak spots. We can see the other cupola now, you're even straighter onto us. There's no benefit to it, that's what I said before. All you do is lower the scope of angle you've got to shoot with your gun, so it's not really worth it. Same again with the all down position in T95, doesn't help you at all. they can still see your weakest point, which is your cupola. So you're not really gaining anything. All you're making it more difficult to do is get shots off yourself. So I mean, it makes it a little bit more angled, your cupola, so a little bit less easy to pen, but it's very difficult with a gun
if you're higher up in it. If you're higher up, it's better, isn't it?
Yeah. And you can see in, if one's coming through, we're going to track it. Yeah. So we're tracking, we're going to start trying to get around him.
Can we attack him?
You know how quick this T95 gets his tracks back up, and he's up and running.
The instant.
But this is an heavy tank. It's not one of the fastest heavy tanks. It's not bad.
Yeah.
They'll defend it, but you can see that it gets fast. Wait till his siders on, straight, perfect siders on. And he's trying to spin it around the other way. That reload's going to get us. Wait again.
Shocking reload.
You can see that the T95, it does spin a pretty quick way.
It does actually.
You're not going to be able to avoid it, and then bang, straight in that weak low of it, and then you've got him pretty much there. You could have had me pinned there, but for experimental purposes, we're going to show what happens if you mess up, basically. So you can see here now that weak spot on the top of the tank. Yeah. And then here we go. Look at that angle there, though. Just that slight angle, and it turns yellow. So that'll bounce that shot. That's what you can do in a T95 to defend. You just get a little bit of your side on, two siders on now. Should have took a shot there. You could have took it. It's just to prove a point. Bomb. And you damaged another module there, which I think was my ammo rack. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it went side in, didn't it? But if you look
and
at
then here you go.
It
You've overextended yourself here now, and you've allowed me to turn face on.
Try to get away.
Shot.
Left arm nipple.
There you go. If you make a mistake, this is what a T95 can do to you.
Punish you.
Bang. Take a shot. There's nearly half your health gone, if not over half your health gone there in one shot. Right, now he's facing you. What can you do? Can you try and get that cupola? We bounce off it. We bounce off it. This is how hard a T95 is to battle. And he's ramming you now, he's bullying you. You can't really get away. He's pushing me. Can we get to that cupola? Can we try and get some shots into it? You're moving about, he's shoving you down, bang. You still can't get a shot in there. He's reloading all the time. He's damaged his ammo rack, so he's got a really long reload. He's backing up now. He must be ready to fire. Try and get one more. Bounce off it again.
Bounce off it twice.
There you go. That's how much and he finished off. It doesn't take long for a T95, even with a damaged ammo rack, to take a tier 8 heavy out. Completely out of the game.
But we showed the cupola.
And here's this L out, and you're going to see it now. This is how dangerous it is. Just a slight brush, a scraping as he drives past the T95 has took, what is it, 200 hit points nearly off him. That's what you've got to be careful.
It wasn't even like ramming.
No, the T95 is just absolutely, it's just ridiculous basically with its strength. I mean, we saw that the defender got near it. It didn't take any health off the defender. But something as weak as this, as any real light tank that's going to come across it, which is pretty much anything from tier 7 up, it's going to lose a bit of health if you touch it. So it's a very dangerous game you're playing when you're circling the T95, especially in confined areas like we've got here on Ghost Town, where there's buildings all around. So we're in a nice open field. He's easy prey. He's easy prey. Absolute easy prey. And we're just going to show that the different ways that this gun can pen, because this has got EAT rounds on it, not APCR, it's secondary ammunition. So what I want to really show here now is how the EAT rounds work as opposed to an APCR shell. So we know that the EAT rounds don't like tracks and spaced armour. No secret there, but we're going to see how that affects it, and we're going to show other ways of when to shoot a T95 and when to just leave it alone.
Try to.
Basically, if you're looking face on a T95 in a light tank, you want to get the hell out of there. There's not much you can do, really. Same again, look at him, he's pretty formidable. And we've got the EAT rounds loaded, and we're going to show that even a light tank face on to a T95, if he pops out while the guy's reloading, he can still do a little bit of damage.
Can you remember what his reload is while we're looking at this?
On the T95? It's roughly around 12 seconds, I think, something like that. So it's not rapid, but it's
not bad actually, because that defender.
Even more, actually, might be way out there with reload, could be about 17 seconds. I'll have to check up on that, but you've got things to play.
There you go, straight in.
You can see that cupola.
Yeah, I didn't struggle there, did I?
And we're going to switch that rear one.
The defender didn't pen it, did it?
Neither does the L out.
Yeah.
So you can see that the right hand side, as we're looking at it from the front, is easier to pen than the left rear one. And that lower plate,
same again. No surprise really, is it?
I could probably try and hit it a bit lower, but then even more an angle. It's a very thin piece of metal basically you're trying to get in. Tracks, spaced armour. You're not doing anything. You're not doing anything if you've got an APCR shell there, so EAT round's not going to go in. Same again on them cheeks. Nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. We've proved that them cheeks are pretty formidable. Even though they're supposed to be a weak spot, there's not a lot going through.
Well, I mean, it's technically the same technique, isn't it? Sides.
I mean, sides, even there, look. Even though that's tracks, EAT round's gone straight through it. So the tracks aren't absorbed at all. It's gone straight through the middle of the track, straight through the fighting compartment.
Goodness for that.
Yeah. it's not being absorbed as such. So now we're going to show a little bit higher. It's going straight in again. There's the ammo rack, you see it there?
Yeah.
Damaged ammo rack again.
Yeah, it's just like, is it level with the rear cupola?
Yeah.
Ammo rack. Here he goes again. But I don't know if you bother angling this model, do you? No, I don't think you do. You go.
I don't really need to.
No.
That's how. It's a nightmare. The T95 is basically a nightmare. You don't want to sit in front of it. You want to get round it.
Yeah.
That's where it's weak. And we're going to show when it comes up over a ridge line that lower plate is flatter to you, and it can be penned. Here we go. We're going to come up this hill, and we say we're there. Can go straight through. There is that weak spot on the lower, but straight on it, on level ground, it's very tricky to pen because the angle it's sat at.
How many times are you going to see one like this? That's the problem, isn't it?
Exactly. You're just going to hope he's got about 258 points when he's coming up over that hill like you. Because when he gets to this stage, we're in trouble now. We're absolutely in trouble. Yeah. And we're looking around. There's not much we can do against this thing.
No, you're talking like down the road, aren't you?
It's an absolute
nightmare.
Yeah. It's very artillery prone as well, basically, because of its weak roof and the fact that it's very slow.
Oh, yeah.
And it's wide.
You can
so
see
don't
one.
often miss it,
If you see one, you're lucky, aren't you?
Yeah.
In artillery, that is.
So we're going to try the same as we did before with the defender. Come at me,
Yeah,
bro.
we're going to hit and run.
So basically we're going to see if we can track him, get around him and dodge him, and we're going to show you how to do it and how not to do it. Basically on the one go. So Bob, blown that track off. And it's gone back up nearly right quick now. Before you even reload.
Can I just say that I'm not actually this bad at circle strafing big fat tank destroyers.
We're going to show the example of when you're
not to touch it.
Yeah, don't touch it. Pop it, lost a little bit more there. Not a lot, but we lost a bit. Pop another little bit more, just a little nudge, slight nudge like that.
Don't touch it.
And then if you get there, oh man, we're in a right predicament here. And he's facing us, and this is what a T95 can do.
That's it.
Wow.
Game over.
It's just finished. That is the T95.
That is the T95, people.
So basically, if you're attacking it, don't get in front of it.
No, don't get in front of it.
It's a nightmare to fight from a distance. Try and get that weak roof if you can, if you're above it from higher ground. It is weak. Other than that, try and get that cupola.
Yeah.
Lower plate's an option if you're below it and you can actually get to it, then shoot there. Other than that, just track it and try and hope that you've got artillery on your team or other team members on your team who can get shots in from the side. If you're playing it, nice open ground, keep distance from enemy teams, or if you're on a street map, just add that left cupola if you can.
Definitely.
Basically, and just let that gun do its thing because it's immense.
Let it do its thing.
Yeah, remember where we told you to shoot the ammo rack?
Yeah, if possible.
Yeah, and that's from both sides as well. Don't just think it just from the left-hand side as we looked at it.
Yeah, okay
and
then.
That's it.
Okay then, Killers 05. Thank you very much for your T95 knowledge. And laters, people.